give you the option.
Welcome to The Option. I'm your host, James, and with me I've got the whole crew. We got Sammy, Phil, Frank, and Nick. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing?
Doing great. Oh, can I say something?
No.
Broncos beat Dallas Cowboys. Thanks, Phil.
Hey, you're a week late, buddy. What did the Broncos do
Never
this
too
week?
late. Doesn't matter.
It does matter what they do and what the
Exactly.
Cowboys do this week. It was a one-off.
They
That's
beat
fine.
up on the Falcons.
And what did the Broncos do? They lost to who?
Look, there's five of us here.
Can you
We can
answer
get
my
another five
question?
guys off
Who
the
did the
street.
Broncos lose to?
We're not talking about that.
We
We're
are.
talking
You
about
mentioned
the
Broncos. We're talking
beating
Broncos.
Dallas.
Who did the Broncos
I
lose
said that
to?
they beat Dallas.
And
just
who
trying to
did
make
they
up for
lose
lost
to
time,
this week?
people. I have no idea what you're
Right,
talking
exactly.
Frank, tell him.
Frank,
tell
who
him.
they lose to
Detroit
this week?
didn't lose.
Detroit didn't lose this
Detroit
week.
didn't lose.
They were better
lose,
than
baby.
Denver this week. San Fran didn't lose. They were better than Denver. And my Cowboys didn't lose. They were better than Denver this week. So you're
I
the
don't
only
know
one
about
with
that.
the L
I mean-
this week, big guy. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I mean,
Bang,
like
bang,
they beat
Niner
the
gang.
Falcons. The Falcons.
Doesn't matter. It's a win.
The
It's something you
Falcons.
didn't get this week. A win.
That's like when
Don't the Falcons have the exact
Pretty
same
sure they
record
do.
as the Broncos now?
but you know,
But it's the Falcons, Nick. It's the
guys.
Falcons.
So what are you
Nick.
complaining about?
It's the
Like, come
Falcons.
on.
That's
the
like
exact
Jerry
same
when he
record.
stole the bread, the marble rye from the old lady. Same thing.
You old hag.
Give me that rye.
I don't think there was a more predictable outcome this week other than Dallas kicking the crap out of the Falcons.
Right?
It just
Interesting.
everything worked
It's
out
true.
perfect. Revenge type game because they sucked the week before that against Denver. Back at home, need to prove something, get back on track. Right, doing it for the defensive coordinator who literally knows every weakness of that offense. It just worked out perfectly.
Yeah, for
It
real.
was a beautiful thing to watch. I enjoyed every minute of it. Normally people say blowouts are boring, but that wasn't boring. It was fun. I was just laughing my head
It was
off.
boring.
And I think CeeDee Lamb tried to kill Dak Prescott. I don't know if you guys saw the highlights after the game. CeeDee and Dak
I
got
did.
together, and you know how normally when you guys see each other, you headbutt each other with the helmets on? Well, Dak didn't have his on. CeeDee did, and he decided to headbutt Dak and cut open his
Oh
eye.
man.
Oh my god, yeah, he cut him. He cut him good.
Did he
and
cut
Dak's
him?
like, I think he tried to give me a concussion.
Oh,
He's like,
my.
as long as he catches the
That's
ball,
awesome.
whatever it takes.
Now, is Dak going to be able to throw the ball? Is the question. Like maybe he's got some vision issues.
He still could see out of the other eye. He's
He
fine.
went.
Don't
He
worry,
went back
he's
in the game. He
he
was fine.
closes one eye. He's like the one-eyed bandit. All right,
fine. Still throws better than Teddy would with two eyes. So don't
You'll
worry
be all
about it.
right.
that's true. Did you guys see that not tackle from Teddy today this week? It was like, what the hell, Teddy?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's
just
like,
stood
oh, there's
there
a guy. I'm gonna go
and watch the guy
Exactly. It's
walk
like,
in?
okay.
No,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
best
Way to
was
show your
watch
team
them.
that you care, Teddy.
the best was
Yeah.
Brady. Did you guys see one of his interceptions? So Brady throws a pick. They start running back the other way, and Brady basically made an executive decision. He's just standing there and not moving. Let the other guys go deal with it. I'm going to stay where I
but
was
Brady-
right through the pick, and I'm not going to move and hope nobody touches me. That was
But in
Brady's
fairness,
as old
be-
as Jesus.
But Brady can do something
he
like
ain't
that's what I
going
was-
anywhere.
Well, this is what I was saying, Phil. Like, in fairness, being the older guy on this team here, I mean, I understand that. Sometimes you think you're moving physically, but you're really not, you know? Like, so maybe he thought he was actually
Slow motion.
moving. And
I think he just chalked it up. It ain't really worth it for me. Teddy
Stopped
probably
doing
did
that
the
10
same
years
thing.
ago.
He's probably
Again.
thinking, if I try to make this tackle and I get hurt, I'm losing my job for sure.
Oh yeah,
Well, I
That's
mean,
true.
for good too. He's not.
I think being caught on camera not making the tackle is not really good for your resume either, right? So, I mean, you know, either
But
way.
he's Brady.
you
He
know?
can do what he wants. Doesn't make a difference. So,
Oh, no, I'm talking about Teddy. Like, I
yeah,
was talking
Teddy
about
needs
Teddy.
to do
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
he can to stay on the field. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
exactly.
Teddy should have dove and just made it look like he was trying.
He
but
just-
didn't.
yeah.
He just stood
So,
there.
so speaking of your Broncos, Sam, since you brought it up, and that's one of our topics
Yeah.
of today. I mean, they had a chance to jump into first place, I think it was, in the division, or at least get close in there. So did the Chargers, and the team that everyone thought was on the other end and started losing and hasn't looked the same, all of a sudden looked like the Chiefs of old, and then they won, and now they're first in that division. What's going on with that division? Are the Chiefs officially back, or is this just a rare occurrence? What do you guys think?
I mean, they look good, though. They did look good. They look good. It looked like the Chiefs of old. But can they string it together? You know,
Well,
who knows?
they're getting
right?
the
Like,
Cowboys
I mean,
this week, so no, they can't.
Well, then I think I think they can. Then I think you're right. I think they're back. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, dear. It's a good thing we don't pay you to think. That's good.
Right.
Yes, they get the Cowboys.
If you guys get paid? Hold on a second. I want to go back to something. You guys get paid?
Yeah, sure.
Jesus. Damn it.
We'll just go by that topic.
Yes, Cowboys and Chiefs could be a fun game this week. Can't wait to see it. But yeah, I won't lie to you. Seeing the Chiefs of old last week, I was like, is this something that could concur? Because if this happens in Sunday against the Cowboys, it's going to be a tough matchup. And I'm not sure I want that. I'd rather them rout them. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that they were necessarily the Chiefs of old, other than the sense that they destroyed the Raiders.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the Chiefs' biggest problem is exactly what we've been saying for weeks: is their big play offense just was not working, and they have not scripted a game around facing a defense that takes that away from them. They had 10 receptions from the running back. They were happy to check it down, right? They moved the ball all over the field. It was simple. Patrick Mahomes had time in the pocket, right? It was a very straightforward game plan, opposite of what they've been doing previously. And I think that was the biggest difference. They finally made the right adjustments.
Yeah. I'm hoping they make the
right.
wrong ones on Sunday. That'd be nice. But
yeah, they're going to go back to the start of the year Chiefs, where they weren't.
That's what I'm
great.
hoping for.
That's
but,
what we're going to see. Hopefully,
yeah, they played really well. They got a heck of a lot of fantasy points for a lot of people, and cost Mahomes finally showed up, and Tyreek Hill had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
Kelsey
great.
caught some balls. It was
Kelsey's back.
Yeah, it was an interesting. Frank had him on the trade block, and now he put him on the partial trade block because he's not sure exactly if he wants to move or not.
That was a rash move. It was just
rash move. You put him up
off.
there at halftime in that game. I was just like,
I know
that's a statement.
I was just out of instinct, just like.
So are we saying that they're going to win the division? These Chiefs, can they do it now? Is that I mean, we all predicted, the ones that were here for those predictions. We predicted the Chiefs to win.
Did.
Then we said, "Holy crap, are we off?" Now are we saying they're still going to win that division?
I mean, it's not a very strong.
Absolutely.
It's not a very strong division, really. If you look
I know
at
the
it,
Broncos
all the teams have been struggling. Broncos have been struggling. Chargers haven't been the Chargers they were last year. Raiders are a total shit show.
They started off so
it's
good,
really up
and
in
all
the
of a sudden it's just like, I don't know which team that is or what's going on there.
They don't know who they are.
It's interesting. So, but
Chargers have no identity.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's almost like the NFC.
and
What was it? The NFC East of last year, like when everybody else,
no.
everybody was under 500.
Last year. They didn't even have a 500 record. They were all underneath 500.
That's what I mean. They were.
You guys
that's
are
what I'm
at
saying.
least over 500.
Nobody wanted.
This is way different. Son.
Exactly.
Way different. That was an embarrassment to get a team in that playoff with an under 500 record. It was just
I know.
But yeah,
was bad.
We spoke about the Cowboys, so that was good. They had a blowout win come back. The Bills came back, had another big blowout win as well on their side. That was, them showing that they could still win. Or we still have some faith in the Bills. We think those guys. I've been hearing a lot of people, a lot of analysts out there saying that they still think it could be Bills Cowboys as a Super Bowl final. So I was like, whoa, that's interesting.
What year is this?
That's what they were saying. They're like,
who are these analysts? We need names. And what are they smoking?
You just want to know what they're smoking.
Yeah.
You want to know what their names are.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Hey,
I could definitely see the Bills getting back there for sure.
I think
getting
that.
there.
I mean, listen, the Bills in the AFC, they still.
it's tough, man.
There's some good teams.
Yeah.
There's some good teams they got to go through, right? So, I mean, should be interesting. If KC is back, as we're saying, that's going to be tough. Tennessee, obviously, without Derrick Henry, is going to, not as big of a problem. But there's also the Ravens, right? Like, I know they have a lot of injuries and whatnot, but they could pull it together as well. So there's a few teams in the AFC that can make it happen.
Speaking of those Ravens,
Tennessee is technically the best one.
Ooh, Tennessee?
In
What's
the
that?
AFC.
Yeah.
Even Tennessee is the best team in the AFC.
No, you're right.
They
With
still
Derrick
had Derrick
right
Henry.
now.
I mean,
They're
that
still
would be
winning
even more
games.
scary. It's
Be a disaster, yeah.
But
It's
speaking of those
ridiculous.
Ravens you spoke about and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, both of them had big losses this week that, they were favored to win and both came away with losses. Are we a little skeptical on those two teams? Is it the injuries that are starting to play into this now, or are they maybe not the teams that we thought they were?
I think for the Ravens, it's definitely the injuries. I mean, they've got more injuries, I think, on that team than probably the rest of the division combined, like especially for their starters, right? Like, so I mean, I think that it's like with Lamar, if you shut down Lamar, you're pretty much shutting down that offense. That's basically what everybody's proven, right? Unless you establish a run game and you have, a couple of options downfield, it's hard. So I think that they're unpredictable. I don't know if I think for them it's the injuries, and I think if they don't get that straight, if they don't get it right, they're gonna have a hard time in that, like in the AFC.
But
I
the
think
Dolphins
of all those teams.
on Thursday night primetime game,
I
you
know.
put up a dud like that.
I
And he's
mean,
back at home too. That was his homecoming.
Him and Brown, Hollywood Brown, both
Yeah,
from Miami.
that's-
Like those two guys
that's
were
true.
there, expected to have big games, and just like, whoa.
they both had their breakout games in Miami,
Yeah.
but it was a short week. A lot of the
True.
top teams this year have
Yep.
dropped
Yeah,
one
yeah.
really ugly game. I mean, no one expected Baltimore to lose to Miami. But I mean, Miami was playing with some pride, and that defense isn't as bad as people think. I mean, most
No.
of the time it's the offense that puts the defense in a bad position. So I'm not too worried about Baltimore, nor am I
Correct.
worried about Tampa. Tampa's has the same issue. They have no rhythm right now. Brady's making some bonehead mistakes. I think it's the injuries to the receivers. Everyone's kind of they're playing banged up. You got guys that haven't come back yet. Defense is a revolving door of different players. So, I mean, I'm not too concerned about them either.
And I'm looking at the Ravens schedule. Like, I mean, now, and they have the Bears, the Browns, the Steelers, the Browns. So it's not like a super hard schedule over the next few weeks. And then they face the Packers, right? Like that's kind of going to be, I think, their next big challenge. So if they could string a couple of wins together against those teams, which I think they can, I think they should be okay.
The Browns play them tough every year. That's going to be
The Browns,
That's true.
though.
so.
Nick Chubb, the best running back in football, or is Baker Mayfield the worst quarterback?
Ooh, that's a good call. Both ways.
Can it be both?
Combination of the
I
two.
definitely- yeah.
Like, it's crazy,
Yeah, it's
though.
gotta
When
be a
Nick
combo.
Chubb and or Kareem Hunt play, that team is almost unstoppable offensively. They played like the 49ers did this weekend. 40-plus runs, no one can stop you, smash mouth football. But when they don't have one of those guys, or they have to lean on the pass game, I think this is Baker's last chance. If he doesn't go on a string of games where he pulls his weight, there's no way he's going to be getting a contract, especially not over the $35 million mark.
No.
They may have no choice
No.
because they may not have any other options. That's the other problem, right? You come down to this
Yeah,
point.
there's always
and
options. Aaron Rodgers.
That's if Rodgers leaves.
He's going to go to Cleveland?
That's if Rodgers
He's not going to
leaves, right?
Cleveland.
We still don't know if Rodgers is leaving Green Bay. I mean,
He's
he
leaving.
does this every year where he has some kind of, fairy thing where he goes nuts and everyone, the media blows it up, and then he just shows up like everything's fine. And I'm still trying to get around the fact that he got fined $14,000 for what he did. CeeDee Lamb gets fined $20,000 for a shirt violation, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, how is that not a problem? Like, that is ridiculous.
It's true.
He put players.
This is what's going to
Double
happen.
standard.
Carolina's going to cut Sam Darnold, and then Cleveland's going to sign Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold is going to beat Baker out of the job.
for 2 weeks.
I don't think even that's gonna happen.
Speaking of Carolina,
that'd be funny.
Baker's got to be
speaking
better
of
than
Carolina,
Rodgers.
we had the return of Cam Newton. Did you guys watch that? Were you guys excited?
Yeah, he's back, baby. That would have been awesome if it was in Carolina.
He is back.
That stadium would have
It would have been.
erupted.
I
So was it?
sorry.
Are they home this week?
I have no idea if they're home.
Are they home this
I
week?
thought it was exciting. I was like, I heard that they were going to run some package plays for him. I don't know how different the playbook is from when he used to run it, but my question is, are they better with Cam at QB or are they better with PJ Walker at QB?
Oh no, Cam's going to start this week.
Yeah, it's.
But
Cam.
I don't think
And
they're
are
better
home
with
against
Cam.
Washington.
Cam still can't throw.
Yeah,
PJ Walker
I
can
disagree.
throw. Cam can't throw.
I don't think PJ Walker's.
I
better
think
than
Cam can throw just as good.
I think PJ Walker.
I don't think Cam's
Yeah,
the
come on.
greatest accurate quarterback, we'll say, but I think he's motivated. And when you're motivated like that, you're
Got
back
something to
home
prove,
in
yeah.
Carolina. You want to prove that you're not trash. You know what I mean? I think he's going to do just enough
Yeah.
to make that team a lot better than they had been playing. And it'll seem like he's the savior in Carolina.
I thought
Yeah,
because
and Cam-
that defense was
he
great.
has a
Christian
truck, dude.
McCaffrey's there. If they just have some half decent
Exactly.
play.
if Cam's not, he's not the passer.
He's got that
Cam's
safety
not the
blanket.
passer like that.
I don't think he
Everybody
can throw
wants.
it. Yeah.
But like he's such a presence in the backfield that defenses are focused on him, and he's there, so you got to watch him. He runs.
Yeah, they got to keep an eye on him.
He draws
You're right.
attention, so that opens it up for CMC.
Okay, but hold on. Cam isn't like
No,
that
he's
bad
not.
at
He's not.
passing. He's not great.
You
100%.
guys know 2
but
seasons ago
come on,
he
he
threw
was
for
on New
8
England where
touchdowns
we're
total,
saying
right? Like 8 total.
Yeah, but he ran in for like what, 12?
again on New England with what weapons the New England have there.
Yeah, but
Who
did you see
have
his throws
exactly?
on Sunday? He was still missing his receipt. He was throwing behind DJ Moore. Like if you can't hit DJ Moore, I mean, I don't know. The accuracy is not there. He can't make
He'll
short
get there.
throws. He can't throw deep. Like it's just PJ Walker's the better arm. He throws better than Cam does.
He's more accurate, that's
Cam-
for sure.
But Cam, you're right. The presence
He's
of
more
Cam
accurate,
changes things. So I don't know. Do they throw package plays in and mix the two together? Do they? Is it official that Cam is starting? Have they announced that 100%? Like, do we know?
It's not official, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, according to fantasy, it looks like he's projected to be the starter.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I just don't know if that's the way you want to go with it. But I thought the best thing I saw was the Carolina Panthers are paying Teddy Bridgewater's contract still.
I was going to say
who
that.
was the
Cam's
replacement to
replacement.
Cam. They're paying
Cam's
Sam
replacement.
Darnold, who was the
Yeah.
replacement to Cam's replacement
Cam's
and Teddy,
replacement.
and now they're repaying Cam, who's now replacing the 2 guys who
And a
replaced
good
him.
contract, too. I think it was like a $10 million contract.
10 million.
Yeah, yeah.
4 million.
Hey, when
or
you're
something.
rich, right? Rich as owner.
Talk about
Yeah.
paying waste of money in quarterbacks.
I think you give Cam a full week like he has now, like with that
Yeah,
practice.
exactly.
Because remember, he came in
Yeah,
short
yeah.
week, right? Come on, like give him a full week of practicing with these guys and actually getting a feel for
What
them.
practicing?
Plus,
It's the
he
same
hasn't
guys
played
you had
football
when he
in how
left.
long?
No one's changed. They're still there.
It's a new offense.
No, the coach changed.
but
New
the
offense.
rest of
It's
the
a new
guys are
offense.
still there.
It could be
Okay,
totally
it's a different scheme. It's a different playbook. He's still got to
it's
learn
It's a whole
that.
new, new lingo, new everything.
I don't know.
Audibles, all that shit.
Well,
James has no faith.
I have no faith at all. But we'll see.
You trying to trade
Yeah,
for him?
James just
Are you
don't
trying to
like
trade for
reasonably
Cam?
so.
Do any of you have Cam Newton right now? I don't think so. I think we're okay. So
No.
We picked him up.
I
Oh,
do.
that's why Nick's
I have him in
biased because he
armchair.
has him already in the league. That's how Nick works.
Nick and I share a team. We picked him up.
Nick needs to make a T-shirt that
When you
says,
say
yes,
Nick and
know
I
that.
share a
we
team,
had-
you
we
mean
had-
Nick does all the work and you just sit there with your name on it?
No. I mean, maybe a
Okay,
little bit.
just try to just check.
Just a tad.
This
just
is why
a
we're
tad.
losing.
It's okay.
I mean, maybe I should be a little
Fam,
more
it's a
active.
good
Okay.
team. Don't worry.
I think I've waited long enough on this topic. I think it's time to get to it. We kind of mentioned it already. Frank, this one's for you. The Lions didn't lose. They didn't win either, but they
so
didn't
you- oh.
lose.
Oh,
How excited
Players
were
say
you
they won.
this week?
I was shitting bricks all freaking afternoon. That was the most nervous, freaking reckless game ever. They gave them like chance after chance after chance to win. This kid Santoso missed the extra point, which would have made it. It wouldn't even have to go to overtime. And then you can ask my girlfriend. I was watching it, and then they're lining up. It's like a 48-yard field goal. I looked at her. I'm like, this guy's gonna miss. This guy's a bum. This guy's gonna miss. Like, you watch. And she's like, why are you being so negative? You gotta be positive. He's not gonna miss. Just be positive. They line it up. Kicked
yeah,
it.
he missed.
Oh, I think it got blocked. It only went like 10 yards. Like, and then look at the replay. No, wasn't blocked. It just a bad kick. The guy looked like he didn't even run at the
Shanked it.
He walked up to the ball and just. Boom.
Frank, I had the exact same word for word conversation with my wife because
It's like,
she's
you
recently
know.
getting into football too, and she knows the
I've seen
whole
this.
situation Detroit's in.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, she's watching. She's like, they're gonna win, and she's all excited
No.
because she likes cheering for the underdog week to
Yeah.
week, right? And I'm just like, this fucking
No.
bum's gonna miss this
No
kick.
chance.
She's like, don't say
I
that.
gave
Don't
him-
say that. I'm
I
like,
gave him
he's gonna miss
no
this fucking kick, and sure enough. She's like, it's blocked. I'm like, I don't
You
think
didn't
that was
just miss,
blocked.
though.
wasn't.
Oh man, it's yeah.
And they kept getting.
He
like,
didn't
then
just miss.
The
either.
Steelers
That's
would
bad.
march down the field, get into field goal range. The Lions would punch the ball out, and then Goff would get sacked. Goff would incomplete, sack 3-0. Like, they're saying Goff was hurt, was playing hurt, and I'm hoping he's hurt so he doesn't play next week because they play Cleveland and he might be without Baker, which actually might be better with Baker. But
That was that game was like the worst
Oh
amount
my
of football I've
God.
seen. Like it was just turnover after turnover, and Mason Rudolph stinks, and Jared Goff can't throw.
Mason
and it's just
Rudolph
like,
is the worst.
what is
And
going
they were
on?
running
How
the
did he get the
ball.
start over Haskins?
I don't know, but they have a problem in Pittsburgh, and
Oh,
Ben
yeah.
leaves, and then
not
this
the
is the
future.
future.
And the
This is
Lions
not
were
good.
running the ball. The
They need
Lions,
to do
Taylor Decker's
something.
back, so then Sewell moved over to the right side, and they had 2 anchors on the O-line. They were running the ball. They had like 300 rushing yards total, and they kept passing. Just keep running the ball. Pittsburgh couldn't stop a nosebleed.
Well, I
Instead, they're
remember
going 3 and out
messaging you
on
at one
passes.
point in the third quarter, and I think Goff threw for 40 yards total, and I'm like, that's all.
He
the
had
whole-
48 yards. Yeah, 4 for 8,
That's
48
it.
yards up until a certain point.
Oh,
And they're all
yeah,
screens
that's all
and like
he had.
nothing big anyway.
It
But-
is just like I didn't watch the game. I won't lie to you. I'm glad I didn't. I won't lie to you about that either. But it did not seem like a fun game to sit through. I mean, I'm happy you guys got a tie, so at least you don't get that. You'll no longer
At least
have
we're
that
not
streak
0-17.
of going 0-17 or 0-18, whatever it is. But man, that was.
But the Lions team, other than Goff and Santoso, played an excellent game. They all fought. They played hard. They played well. I have good hope for the future, as long as Goff is not involved in it. And they get a kicker that can actually kick. This guy's up to, like, our main kicker was signed off of a practice squad, but this guy's just
So when you're saying future, do you mean like long-term future? Like
Yeah,
long
yeah.
term,
I've been thinking long term.
3 weeks or like 2024 future?
27,
2024.
28.
That might still be
Hey,
too
ooh.
early, Sam.
Yeah.
They're on the 75-year rebuild plan. What year are we in?
I
Wait, we
told
were
you.
past that, didn't we? What year did the Lions
We're in
start?
year 1958.
Oh, so we might be on. Yeah, no. Okay, we got a little longer. They're on the 155-year rebuild plan.
Rebuild from inception. I like it. To never stop building.
I like what Dan Campbell's doing. He's
I think
he's
What's
He
that?
was
What's he
crying-
doing
crying
exactly?
a lot.
What is
Yeah.
what's
changing the
what's he doing?
culture. He's
Yeah.
the team is playing hard.
Crying, yeah. He was
Changing
pissed on
that
that
team
sideline.
is playing
Yeah.
for him.
The culture went
Yeah,
from
they played
losing
much
to
better
not
at
playing
it.
losing, but he yells at people and cries a little bit. That's
Yeah.
the culture that
Not
changed.
playing
They're
good
losing,
enough.
but they're
Yeah.
not getting blown out. They haven't gotten blown out. Maybe one game.
No,
They
every
play
game.
hard.
Yeah,
They play hard every game.
that's because they're
They're
scared to
idiots.
go back
Except
in
for
the
the
locker
2
room
weeks
because Dan
ago.
Campbell might bite
Exactly.
their knees off. I'd be scared too.
They're worried about Matt Patricia
Fair.
before. I don't think so.
Your biggest argument is they're not getting blown out. That's what you're saying,
This is,
Frank.
this is
Like-
what happens when you're Lions fan, Sam. This is
And that's
What are you kidding?
that's
Come
the
on.
most positive
Come
thing you
on.
could say. They're losing, but they're not getting blown out. Well, maybe one game they got blown
They
out.
came back and almost came back and beat. They were down by what, 30 against San Fran?
Almost.
They almost came
Almost
back.
doesn't count, Frank.
Okay, but they were there. Then the Packers, they were beating them going into the third quarter.
Sam, Frank's had 7 almost wins this season. I'm just saying they're almost
Right,
wins.
right.
They're they were there.
The
They would
freaking
have been
60,
there, yeah.
what was it, a 66-yard field goal that they kicked
That
to
was
win the game?
hilarious.
Baltimore?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah, the Ravens. I think the best part of this game, though, this Detroit Lions and Pittsburgh game, was after the game where Najee Harris goes and says, I didn't even know you
Yeah.
could sign in
So
the
I
NFL."
found out he wasn't the only one. There were a few players on the sidelines
No, there's a bunch
that were
of them.
sitting there, and
And
you're
these
like,
are-
okay, when's the next
Yeah.
quarter? And they're all looking at each other, and it's like, you don't think someone would have said on the sidelines, okay, guys, this is the last play. We need to score, or this is the game's over.
Had they
Like,
never seen an NFL game before on TV? Did they only watch college games when they were in college?
Well,
they never
yeah,
watched
that-
one of their
it's a little
heroes
weird that
play?
apparently not.
And see an overtime game?
apparently
Yeah,
not. I
it's a
mean,
little weird.
nowadays you have at least one overtime, possibly even almost a tie a season at this point. You know what I mean? So people should know. I personally
Yeah.
think they should flip to the other rules. I like the college rules better. Let
I
them
love
keep
college
playing
rules.
until there's
I
a
haven't seen it
winner.
for years.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. But the best part is all of these guys are
yeah.
college
It-
graduates. Like
the
too, like,
NFLPA
and you would
would
think,
never
like,
let that.
Yeah, the college graduates, but they're not paid. They don't go to college on.
Okay.
They go on a scholarship. They don't go on there.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, that's my whole point,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Like,
They're
you
not
know,
all doctors
anyway.
like the Canadian lineman guy. The rest of them, the courses they took a little
They're
easier.
all on. Yeah, they push them through,
Yeah. So, but
especially when they're like Alabama and shit like
we
that.
can all say congratulations, Frank. Welcome to the
Yep.
non-loss
Hello.
column. And
Next week we get
now-
the Browns
now
and
you
then the
can
Bears on Thanksgiving.
officially, try and slide in there and take that first round pick, and you'll be good to go. So,
I'm gonna go on a limb here.
Uh-oh.
My birthday is in November, right after Thanksgiving.
Uh-oh.
Don't predict the
They're
win.
undefeated.
Wait a minute.
They're
Wait a minute. Wait a
undefeated.
Don't
minute.
predict the win.
Hold on. Is the limb stable? Did you check the limb before you're
It
going
looks
out on that
stable,
limb?
but I haven't actually done the full. But let's say
Okay, well, go for it.
it's
Okay.
November for my birthday. All I want is a bacon mushroom melt, and I think the Lions
too.
can beat the Browns, and then the Bears on Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Okay, so
That's it?
So you're
That's all I
getting
want
the
for
bacon
You
mushroom
want two
melt.
more
You're
wins.
getting the burger for sure, 100%.
I think it's out next week.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
it's always
as
on
far
my
as your birthday presents go, Phil. Frank, whatever your name is.
Either way.
It's a wish
It
list.
doesn't
It's a wish
matter.
list. It's not, I can't get what I
Everyone
want if I
gets a
don't ask
bacon
for
burger.
it. So,
Bacon
just put it
No,
out there,
and,
you know.
and you, I mean, you're better off asking to win the lottery, to win something else, because you might have better
I don't even
odds
want- I
than
don't
what
want-
that is there. So,
Well, Frank, happy birthday. Enjoy your burger.
and that's as far as it goes. Yeah.
That's
Thank
it.
you. Thank
That's
you.
it.
I'm not going to enjoy the other thing. Yeah, it's
Just
fine.
have the burger before you watch those games, because at least you're going to enjoy the burger.
I'll
Like
have
you're
a
still
burger,
have
I'll have a
hope,
burger with
right?
the game.
Yeah, at least you'll be
yeah.
happy.
Oh God, no! You're going to throw the burger at the TV
You don't know me too well, son.
and then lick the,
Yeah, I
lick
like
the
the
screen.
TV.
It's not wasting food, Sam. It's not happening.
I just don't know. I just don't know if I want Baker playing or not. That's tough.
Yeah, I don't know. As long as Chubb's not there, you're fine. But if Chubb's back, then it doesn't matter.
That's true.
It don't matter.
Let's talk about the game that was supposed to be the game of the week. Russell Wilson returning for the Seattle Seahawks to face Aaron Rodgers, also returning off of his COVID fiasco. And let me tell you guys what a dud this game was. Like, I mean, it was just boring. I was watching it. I was like, what am I watching? I started Russell Wilson in fantasy this week thinking that, oh my gosh, it's Russell Wilson. He's back. He's going to throw. He's going to cook. I mean, he didn't cook anything. It was just like, he got me 7 fantasy points. They scored 0 points. And what was the final? 15-0, 17-0, something like that?
13-0, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, 17-0.
Like, what was that?
It's the first time I think Russell Wilson's been
Oh
shut out
my
in his
gosh.
career. in
And
the
then
NFL.
Then you had DK. Did you see what that moron did this week?
But,
He went at it with 2 guys on Green Bay, got
tried
ejected
to
from
sneak-
the game,
Yeah.
and then he tried to play it off like he wasn't ejected and went back into the huddle
Sneak back
as
on the
if he
field,
was
yeah.
like it was okay. I was like, what are you doing?
Me?
No one said nothing. What are you talking about?
You didn't
Oh,
know. You thought it was someone else.
Me, you were talking to.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
hilarious. That's like, I keep going back to Seinfeld. That's like Kramer keep going back to the office, right? Like, but I don't even work here. You guys remember that?
that's what makes it so hard.
That's what makes it so difficult.
Oh my gosh, it was not a fun game. I don't know if Rodgers gets the win and in his comeback. They lost Aaron Jones for a couple of weeks, and that's going to hurt them a little bit. And but
Dylan will fill
Dylan
in,
looked
no
really
problem.
good. I won't lie. He took over nicely, and he was running really well. And so we'll see what's going on. But
I've been telling you for years, Dylan is the guy.
He's
there.
only been there
going
for
for
two.
guy. That's
He
what I'm
did
saying. Then the
score
last 2 years, I've been saying
twice.
it.
His yards per carry weren't great, but he did
Yeah.
score twice.
He
He's
just
a
got a
big
lot of
boy.
volume. Sure,
He's
coming in the
really
game
hard
with
to
the win.
stop at the goal line.
It's a volume play now, right? He's going to take the lion's share of the carries and see what happens.
Well,
That's
there's no
what I
one
mean.
else there. So
That's
he
exactly
has to
my
take the
point.
line. Sure. Okay. Just saying.
Oh man.
Just
Yeah,
saying.
so that was a dud. Actually, I was talking to Nick, and Nick, you brought up a very good point about quarterbacks that face the Jaguars for fantasy wise. Can you tell us what that point was we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, well, watching it recently and having my quarterbacks go up against the Jacksonville Jaguars,
Which normally
Sorry
would
for
be
you.
fantastic.
in the last few weeks. Yeah, it's normally a lock play for sure. But in the last few weeks, at least this year, the Jacksonville Jaguars defense has limited their quarterback, their opposing quarterback, to under 10 fantasy points. So, a big play where you're like, okay, we're playing Jacksonville. They're not a great team. I'm going to start my quarterback. I'm going to hope for some big points. And then you get a dud like I did last week with Josh Allen at 9 points. And this week with Carson Wentz at 7 points. So it's an interesting concept to look at, to think of, are the Jacksonville Jaguars defense now a worrisome where I'm like, am I really confident playing my quarterback and thinking I'm going to get a huge amount of points? Or is it still, no, it's just a few weeks here and I'm locked in. This is my quarterback. I'm good.
Well, I mean, I think it's definitely something to keep an eye on. The past 2 weeks, they've played exceptionally in the past game. Josh Allen is an absolute monster. And yes, I mean the one on Jacksonville, not the quarterback for the Bills.
But the quarterback for the Bills is an absolute monster too.
he
When
is.
he's not facing the Jacksonville guy.
The other Josh Allen, exactly.
When he's not playing the other Josh Allen.
But I also think we need to take into consideration that the Jacksonville defense can't stop the run at all. So a lot of the teams, they try to run against Jacksonville and do so very successfully for the most part, with the exception of Buffalo because they can't run the ball against anybody. But Jonathan Taylor had a day against Jacksonville. Carson Wentz didn't have to throw a lot.
Phil, you're not just saying this because the next game is against a team that you might like. Are you saying that?
Well, we do play Jacksonville next week. The 49ers,
right. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not concerned. What did Jimmy throw for 15 for 15 this week? When you run the ball 40 times, and Jacksonville's weakness is the run.
Hey,
I'm not
he
too
wasn't
concerned
perfect.
if
It was
that was the
15 of
case.
19. Okay, get it right. Don't try to make your quarterback
the
look
other
like he's
four-
100% QB.
In
But
Phil's eyes,
The other
he
4
is perfect.
incompletions were in the fourth quarter, and they were all in a row, just trying to get first downs and run the clock down.
And
So
look,
I'll
Phil-
take 15 for 15
and
for
he couldn't do it.
most of
And
the game.
Phil only sees the beauty in Garoppolo. That's it.
No,
Just
no,
like his
no.
baby.
Hey, Garoppolo
did play
played
well.
well.
He
I
did
won't
play
lie.
well.
he just has to do his job, right? Like make
Can't manage the game.
the passes that just make the open passes.
Hey, you
Don't
gotta
do
love
anything
that.
more than
that-
you're asked to do.
How did you feel about that? We were in that chat, Phil. I want to get your honest opinion
Sure.
about Shanahan's 4th down and 5 call. What were you thinking when he did that?
Oh,
We all know how it worked out. Great.
yeah.
He was
But
scared.
yeah.
Like, what are you doing, you
Shanahan?
Right?
We've seen it before.
I
with
guarantee
Shanahan.
you were like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So Shanahan, as we all know, is known for blowing big leads late, and it comes down to the questionable play calling when trying to run out the clock. I mean, it's one thing to run out the clock, which everyone knows is the play. That's what you should be doing when you have the lead. But when you've run the ball at this point 38 times up the middle, right into Aaron Donald's stomach, okay, you become really, really predictable. So at the very least, run some sort of gadget run or something out of your back pocket. Don't just run a simple off tackle up the gut just to run the clock and get tackled 3 times in a row and have to punt, and you literally ran off no time.
But that's what he did though. He did. They were all expecting run, and he did that little slant to Debo and touchdown, right? Like so.
But that's the thing is like you need to do those things because
Yeah.
that's not what he's known for doing. And
he
that's
was
been
setting
our
up the
number one
whole game
problem.
for that
one
moment,
play.
That
Because
moment. He's
we were
like, "This is
talking in
what
the
I'm
chat
doing."
at the 5-minute mark too.
Exactly.
And he had just given the ball back on 3 straight runs, literally right behind the center. And I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like throw it to Kittle in the flat. Like Jimmy's been accurate all
Check
game.
down, do something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't be so goddamn predictable." So I was really happy that was the particular one and it paid off that way, especially because I got Debo on like 5 fantasy teams.
Same.
Yeah.
Solid player.
Anyway, sorry. That's
No.
off
Actually,
topic
I'm
about the
glad
Jags
that you
just
went into
because-
that topic
we
there
need
because
49er
I'm gonna
talk.
bridge off that and I'm gonna go back to a topic we talked about last week, and that's Matt Stafford, who again lost on prime time, again put up horrible numbers with the mighty Rams. Are we gonna say this? Was it that maybe Stafford wasn't as good as we thought he was? Are we back to this scenario? Like this is 2 games in a row now. Frank, what's his record on primetime? It just got worse.
Now I think
It's
it's
6 and 15.
it was
I think
6. It was 6 and 12 or 13.
So
something
now he's like
that.
6 and 15. This is like
I think
14
it's
or
6
15.
and
I don't know,
15
man. This
or
is
6 and
interesting
16.
here.
Hold on, let's
He put
figure
up
it
a
out.
dud. That whole team did not look good. It was I mean,
I can't. I feel like I can't
But
talk
wait,
on
guys.
whether he played poorly or not because I feel like my team played amazing. That's the best game we played all year by far.
They did play well. I mean, I have to say, San Fran played a really good game.
Yeah,
They
if
did.
we can string a couple of games together like that, then we'll be right back in the wild card race.
yeah, with 7 teams, it opens it up a little more for those teams at
Yeah.
the bottom there to kind of squeak in there
Yeah.
still. So
Carolina has the 7th spot right now at 5-5.
yeah,
Honestly, with San Fran, it looks like Kittle coming back after this injury or after this stint away, he's looked so much better these last few weeks than he did at the beginning of the season when they weren't using him. And I think that's a big, big help to their offense because he is such a valuable piece to them. And when they can run it through Kittle, it opens up the Debo more. It opens up more running. It opens up the field so much more now that Kittle's back to kind of that form where we saw where he almost, led
And
the league,
Ayuk, too.
basically.
Yeah,
He
he's
made some
looking good, too.
great contested
Yeah, he was getting
catches
a little
against
more.
Jalen Ramsey.
I would
Just
say
played
Stafford,
tough.
Stafford
you know.
though.
yeah. So my question
to
was
Stafford.
Stafford, not the 49ers. We know the 49ers had a good game, guys. So you don't have
Phil
to go
always
that-
back to the 49ers.
The question
So
is
the
still
49ers won by quite a
Stafford.
bit.
Stafford had
But yeah,
another
Stafford-
dud. It looked bad
Uh,
again. Like you said, it's prime time. Is this, are the Lions scared yet? I mean, they're obviously still better than Goff because look what's happening in Detroit. But, is
What do you mean? Are the Lions?
I
scared
mean,
yet?
are-
What do you mean?
as
are
long
the
as they don't
Rams
play in
scared?
prime time, they should be
Oh,
fine.
you said the Lions.
I'm sorry.
I was
The
like,
Lions
wait
are
a
scared
second.
anyways. The Rams, are they scared
yeah.
now? Because they're like, maybe we made
Well,
a
they
mistake.
didn't lose this week.
Can
Yeah.
Oh no, as long as they don't play in prime time anymore, they're fine.
play-
Well, I mean,
So
they're on.
let's move all of the playoff games, everything away from prime
Yeah.
time. We're good to go.
they
we
got
want to play our game at the same
commissioner,
time
say,
as the other
"Listen,
teams are playing, and we don't want to be
That's
on
right.
No,
no prime
right.
time.
It's funny
Well,
because
they're on a bye this
Stafford
week.
Stafford said he was excited to play more primetime games and not regular 1:00 kickoffs. So he's getting what he
That's
wished
not
for.
working
Oh yeah,
out too well for
He
him.
should be
So-
taking those
so-
words back.
Like a lot of football, obviously, like it's a very physical game, but especially at the quarterback position, a lot of it is mental.
Sure.
So do you think that like the pressure might be getting to Stafford? Like, do you think like because of all the big moves that they made and getting all these weapons, they're like all in now? There's like, this is our big push, right? Like we got all the weapons and maybe he's getting in his own head, or is it just like not a good game for him? Like, you know what I mean?
I think falling behind early, not having Robert Woods, San Fran's defensive front utilizing what Tennessee did against them the previous week and attacking the A gaps to prevent the run game from getting established. All of those things contributed to Stafford's bad game. I don't think it's a matter of there's some sort of monkey jinx on Stafford where he just can't play on prime times. But I think the primetime games he has had have been against exceptional teams with good coaching, and they have exploited the Rams' weaknesses.
But he had OBJ.
Yeah.
Again, who doesn't know
OBJ
the
didn't even know the
and
playbook.
Only was in 15
showed up
snaps.
2 days ago.
OBJ got one more
was
catch
the best
than he
meme I
normally
saw.
did. in
There's a
Cleveland.
picture of OBJ
He had
staring
two.
at the back at Stafford's head, and it goes, "I thought you were better than Baker."
I think what Phil just said, though, losing Robert
Sure it
Woods
is,
is
yeah.
a huge thing for the Rams because Robert Woods, not only was he great offensively catching the ball, it's the little things that Robert Woods did, like outside of catching the ball, blocking, running. Like there's so many utility things that Robert Woods did. That lost to them right now. I
you
think
saying
it's hurting
OBJ
them.
doesn't do any of that?
Van Jefferson.
And
Van Jefferson
OBJ is
stepped up.
not
Van Jefferson
nothing.
stepped up pretty nicely, though. You gotta say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not
Cup-
too
Yeah,
bad,
but even Van can't be
Cup,
Robert
like I
Woods.
mean, it was
Yeah,
like
sure.
automatic. 15 yards to Cup, 15 yards to
Yeah.
Cup, 15 yards to Cup. Like it was like stop it. Like that's enough.
But that's
Double
what
team
Cup's
the
been
guy.
doing all
Okay.
season. He's the number one wide receiver this
No,
year
I
for
know.
a reason. Like he's just going
Yeah.
off.
No,
right?
I know.
Like, so, but anyways,
I think the target totals or the catches, Cup had like 15, and the next closest one
they
had 3.
got to get that run
like,
game
what
going
the-
again. When they were winning, the run game was going.
Yeah.
Phil made a good point to me today when we were talking, saying that offensive line just doesn't look good right now, and I think that is one of their big problems. And Phil was saying his 49ers, who don't have a great a rush, were getting through everybody like as if they were just standing there doing nothing. So they got some things to fix up and whatnot, but Stafford still needs to be better. I mean, he needs to help lead that team, and if he's playing like that too, it's not going to help.
Agreed.
We'll see what OBJ can do in a couple of weeks when he finally learns the playbook. I mean, it shouldn't be hard to run straight and catch a ball, but that's
one thing I can say. I think something I kind of see is throughout Stafford's career, at least with Detroit, even now to an extent, his coaches have always been he's been put on a pedestal to a point where he's their guy. He's like, they're buddies with, Jim Schwartz and even McVay now, they went to dinner. They're about the same age. So they're like buddies. I don't think any of his coaches really like give him shit or push him, exactly, or criticize him whenever he does bad. They just kind of like, all right, buddy, we'll get him next time.
So he needs a Bill Belichick. Is that what you're saying?
He probably needs a guy like a Bill Belichick. Yeah.
He's never been in a position to fear losing his job.
Yeah. Like, he's like, all right, whatever, exactly. He's never had a push from a backup or anybody calling him out.
You mean there were no Lions starters that could push him out of the way? Come on.
John Kitna was gone. How do we have?
But Frank, you mentioned Belichick, and since you mentioned Belichick, what do you guys think of Mac Jones? How do you like me now? What do you guys think?
He played a great game. I mean, that whole team, Belichick's got that team back in the playoffs. Everyone's probably sitting at home being like, 1 year. We got 1 year of you not making the playoffs, and now you're back in the push there. It's a Belichick team.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything extra that he doesn't need to. And from what I was listening to some NFL analysts on the NFL Network there, and they were talking about the quarterbacks back when the draft happened, and Randy Moss was one of them, saying that Mac Jones was one of the better quarterbacks in the thing, but he dropped. Why did Mac Jones drop? Because the ceiling for Mac Jones that everyone saw, his ceiling is what we're seeing. Like, he is a accurate, smart player quarterback. He will make the throws, but he's not flashy. He's never going to be an MVP
but
quarterback.
It doesn't matter. You don't need to.
He's never going to be that.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
This is what they're seeing. But the Wilson or the Lawrence that they project like these guys, the ceiling that they could have is that they could be but they that also top 5 guy, and that's why they chose them over Mac Jones. And everyone was saying that it could have been a mistake. Mac's window,
his ceiling and his floor are not that far apart.
Yes,
but that's a good thing, right? Whereas the other ones, they're boom or bust. And with a Belichick system, if you look at Brady, how the hell did Brady do what he did? He wasn't flashy. He wasn't a runner. He wasn't all over the place. He wasn't side-arming it or whatever. He was basically take a drop back 3 steps and do my job. And that's basically what Mac Jones did this week and the week prior, right? So maybe he's figuring out the system.
Exactly what
maybe he's figuring out the system, and he's
Brady Sanford years too.
Mac Jones could easily be the next Drew Brees. Playing a good system
I
with
could see
a
that.
great offensive-minded coach, and just let him be accurate.
That's exactly right.
They said from day one when Mac Jones was in college that basically Mac Jones is exactly a pocket passer. And going into Belichick's system where he throws, short, intermediate passes, nothing crazy, and he stands in that pocket, reads his
check
play,
downs, whatever
his routes.
Yep. Even his
that's
deep
it.
ball
That's
is
what he is. So
really
Mac
accurate.
Jones finding into this.
He's not a gunslinger, so he doesn't have a rocket arm.
He's not
mobile.
Yeah, he's not.
Aside from that, his accuracy is almost second to none in the league right now.
Yeah, no, that's what.
So are we describing another like young Tom Brady-esque type of thing? Because Tom wasn't known for his arm, and he wasn't very mobile.
I would say closer to Drew Brees based on temperament and swagger. I mean, Tom Brady is a savage. Like, he is the ultimate
discipline-wise, work-wise.
But yes, Drew Brees was a smaller quarterback with not a very powerful arm, but had the best completion percentage every year. So I liken him to maybe at his best ever, maybe a Drew Brees type quarterback. And I mean, it's only been a couple of games. We'll have to see for the future. I mean, New England doesn't have any star receivers.
Well, that's another thing. So if they get a couple guys on that team, give them some weapons, who knows?
So is it safe to say that he's the best rookie quarterback as of right now between all the rookie quarterbacks?
Absolutely. No question.
I think so.
No question.
This year, yes. Easily.
Well,
I think the Jets probably really regret not taking him at number 2.
But it's the Jets, so this is what the Jets
are regretting just taking Zach Wilson in general. Exactly. They had the pick of the litter other than Trevor Lawrence, and they went Wilson, and Wilson is just not done.
What about you being a
what
San
they
Fran
wanted.
fan? Do you regret the fact that they went up, traded, and got Lance rather than Mac Jones?
Lance over Mac Jones? Not at all. What I regret is trading up at all.
Yeah.
That's a lot of package you gave up. Yeah.
If I try not to criticize my team like everyone else, but the one thing I can say I really hate about my team is how the GM and the coach literally ruined the Super Bowl team that we had. Okay, you traded DeForest Buckner for a first-round pick, okay, and you replaced DeForest Buckner with the exact same position player who has been nothing but injured and not playing very well. Okay, then you turn around and you trade up for a quarterback that you don't need. Okay, like it makes absolutely no sense. Those picks you could have used this year for, say, Xavier Howard during the trade deadline when we're cornerback starved. And we could have traded one of those first-round picks for him to Miami because he was on the trade block. We could have used that other first-round pick this year around the 12 spot to get a Patrick Surtain or a J.C. Horn, or depending on how the draft played out, right? We could have got a top corner in the draft. We would have still had our defensive line. We don't need linebackers. The defense would have been top 5 easily. And the offense wouldn't have changed.
Yeah, because you
still would have had Jimmy there.
You're right.
Well, I mean, we're back talking about the 49ers again. What is this? The 49ers
This is
special
the
here? What's
greatest
going on
episode ever. Wait till you guys see the graphics. This could be nothing
What
but
the
49ers stuff.
Oh man,
Throw some lines in
I
there.
don't know if we're gonna
I'm
put this
not
one out
watching
there, guys.
anymore.
This one might not make the queue. I don't know.
That's
This
it.
is,
All right, let's move on before I start another.
let's get out
49er
of.
topic.
Okay, we're gonna.
I'm sure we'll be back
We're gonna
again
walk away
at some point.
from regular NFL football. We're gonna talk a little bit of fantasy. I know we all talk about everything here, but I've had a little bit of a beef this week that's been sort of grinding my gears. That's been bothering me all week, and
That happened every week.
Tell us what's wrong, Peter Griffin.
Come on, man. Don't really
They probably have a cream for that, James.
I don't want to know what you have creams for. That's fine.
I don't know. I'm just saying you're the one with the problem.
Who told you to put the bomb on? Who told you to put the bomb on?
I have an issue with people in fantasy leagues calling out other people for trades that they make and this, that, whatever, and then saying that all these trades are unfair. We need a trade committee. We need to veto stuff.
That's true.
We need this. And then you go and offer the stupidest trades on earth afterwards just because you think your value is different. Like, people in fantasy just don't understand the value that other people see things as. The way you see it is not the same as the way Sam, you're going to see it, or the way Phil's going to see it, or the way Frank's going to see it, or the way Nick's going to see it. The only two people that possibly can understand a trade at that point in time that's been accepted are the two people that made the trade. The rest of the people, whether you see it the same way or not, whether you agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. The two guys that accepted the trade, that's the two that matters. They liked the trade for whatever reason. They liked it. They agreed upon it. They think it helps each other's team. Why do you have to go in there and stir the pot and be like, oh, you've gone and traded, you're making your team worse to make mine better, thanks. Or, oh, I can't believe you made that trade, it's the stupidest trade ever. Or, why do you think that trade's fair, and asking everybody that it's fair? Like, just drives me nuts that people still do this. It's, you don't need a trade committee. You don't need a veto system. It's everyone pays the same amount of money or whatever it is to get into leagues. Everyone has a brain, and if you make a mistake on a trade, that's on you. But I mean, you should also not get ridiculed for making the damn trade. Sorry, that was my rant.
Yeah, I agree.
So how do you feel about it, James? Oh, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I agree. You shouldn't necessarily be ridiculed for it, but I mean, it depends on the type of ridicule. I mean, if you're being called out like viciously, like you're a moron, or someone's calling you like you're a cheater,
an idiot,
you
or
got
something,
hosed, and they're trying to rally everyone else behind you to try to make you feel bad and belittle you for no reason. That's not really called for. I mean, I know there's a lot of friends leagues out there where people just trash on each other, and that's kind of the fun of the sport. So, I mean, I'm all for banter, but I mean, I also appreciate it when it's a little bit tactful. Just be tactful in your banter, and I don't get involved in other people's trades that are totally obviously fair. I mean, you may like one side versus another, but if the general consensus is that you can see where both people were coming from, why do you even have to stick your nose in other people's business just to stir the pot?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think you were kind of starting your rant aiming at another point aside from that, and it's the people that complain the most about trades offer the worst trades.
Yes.
True.
Which
So bad.
shocks me too, because you'll have people that complain about offers that they get, and then they'll send you an offer, and you look at this offer and you're telling yourself, there's no way that this could be a real offer, right? Like, this person is blatantly trying to rip me off. Like, there's no way that this person could think that this is fair, right? Because if that's the case, either I'm a complete moron, or I have no idea what the rankings are of players, and then this person has obviously got a crystal ball and they can project the future.
No, what it is they think that every trade that is made, and I know this because I get the messages every time. Being the commissioner of the league, this is what happens. You get these messages, so they think every trade that's made is completely unfair, and they want every trade vetoed. But then when they go and send these offers, it's either one of two things. They think that it's a fair trade because in their eyes, the value that they're trading their players for is obviously completely different than the value of everyone else's. Or they're like, well, all these other people made these stupid trades, so I'm going to give you an offer of a stupid trade. You're obviously not going to accept it because it should be accepted because everyone else is doing stupid trades in their eyes. And I'll give you an example. I've been getting heckled for a trade that I made months ago where they claim that the trade was in my favor, which I will say today, yes, it was in my favor. The other person agreed on the trade. He liked the pieces he was getting.
What was the trade, James?
I don't have it with me. It was a while ago. I can't remember exactly. I'd have to go pull it up. Nick, can you go find it while I'm finishing off my thing here? It was the Henderson one. Anyways,
Sure.
I made the trade and whatnot. And this is like months ago, beginning of the season, I made it. I'm still getting it now today where they're like, it was unfair. It was this, it was that. How could you do that to a person who no one really has contact with? They claim that I ripped them off, whatever. Story of my life. Yeah, I know. Anyways, and then
Not the first time
and then
I've heard
today
that.
he sends
Won't be the
first of
last.
all he rips in the whole group about telling everyone's trades are not fair. We need a trade committee. We need this, completely that. Sends me messages on the side saying that I trade raped this guy, this, that, whatever, that I all kinds of stuff. And then he sends me an offer today for DeAndre Swift, and his offer was Swift and was it a fourth or something like that?
A tenth? No, Swift and a tenth.
Right,
For
that's it.
McNichols and a
for
fifth.
McNichols and a fifth. And I looked at him and I goes, that
you
really an
got the
offer?
picks backwards, but yeah.
And his response to
Well,
me was, well, everyone else is making stupid trades. Why can't I? And I'm like, this is your problem. This is why people don't want to trade with you because
So was he doing it to make a point?
what point is he
my
making?
point.
That he
Was
gets rejected?
But that's not making a point.
No, just to say, like, you know, I'm trying to like show you how ridiculous these trades are. I'm playing
But if
devil's
they're
advocate
that
here, right?
ridiculous,
Or
why
was
are
it a legit
people-
trade? Was it a
but
serious
if
trade?
If they're ridiculous trades, Sam, why are people accepting? Yet when he sends an offer, nobody
So-
accepts.
Yeah. So I think, look, I mean, either it's two things. One, it's this person is obviously, I don't know, maybe they think that their value system and everyone else's value system is completely different, right?
Actually,
Like, and
that's
that might be
exactly
the
what it is
case.
because I'll give you an example too. I told him in the offseason that I wanted to get AJ Brown. And I got AJ Brown for a second round pick, which that sounds really good because you guys know who AJ Brown is.
That
and
is
you
good.
Think he's good.
Yeah.
When I got the pick for him, I was told that the gentleman who gave me the second round, or I gave the second round pick to, I overpaid for AJ Brown. He said he wouldn't have paid more than a fourth round pick for AJ Brown.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what does that tell
See,
you
how
in
does
the
that make
value that he
sense?
sees?
Well, that's
So,
the
yeah.
perfect
I mean, listen,
example of there should never be a trade committee.
Yeah. Listen, I mean,
Correct,
look,
because all of us have
I
different
think
opinions.
that opinions and a-holes, everybody's got one, right? Like, and that's just the reality of the situation.
Yeah. Some people are one.
Well, hey, that's true too. And I think that, like, you know, there's a saying that goes, you know, sometimes it's better to just not say anything and have people assume you're an idiot than actually opening your mouth and confirming it. So I don't know what the situation is with these trades you guys are talking about. I'm just talking in general. At the end of the day, when you look at a free market system, which trades are, right? Just like everything else, like, you know, it's whatever value that person sees in it is really now. if you're actually going out and trying to, I mean, everybody's trying to do better than they were before, whatever that looks like, right? Like, so you're not going out to say, I'm just going to lose this trade. You have different reasons for making trades, whether you're building, whether you're rebuilding, whether you're making a push. So at that time and at that place in time, the value changes all the time. So that person is not looking at it from that same position. Sometimes they're looking at it from their position and saying, oh, now you screwed me up, not looking. And it's more about them than it is about the actual trade, which is not the way you need to look at a trade, right? Because if you're in a position where it's like, and nobody should ever say, well, now you screwed me up, I'm not going to be able to win or whatever the case may be. Well, you don't, why the hell do you even care about somebody else's team? You know what I mean? Like, you're not doing it to say, oh, I'm going to screw Nick over and make this trade so Nick doesn't win. And if you are, that's pretty bad. Like, I mean, that's not the way you should be kind of conducting yourself.
But you nailed it on the head, Sam, with that whole explanation of kind of how trades work. And that's exactly what it is. Regardless of what the trade is, you have one person who is trying to acquire assets. You have the other person who's trying to acquire assets. Whether the third party on the outside likes the trade or not, the two people completing the trade need to be happy, right? One person may be selling assets that you think are very valuable
for different reasons,
for very cheap because that's all they felt like they could get, or they were really high on the new assets coming in, or the new players or their picks, or for whatever reason, whatever direction they want their team to go in. The fact of the matter is some people get upset when two other people make a trade and it affects their standings.
Yeah.
And they take that personally because now they're afraid that one of their competitors got unfairly better. But guess what? You can't judge that. Regardless of you being in first.
It's a sliding scale.
Yeah, and the third and the sixth place teams make a trade, and now the third place team seems to be getting better in your eyes. Because I think we can all agree, the best trade is when both teams walk away happy with their trade.
No, I think the best trade is when both teams walk away and say, man, did I do a good job here? That's probably an even better trade because you're thinking, wait a minute, maybe I could have got more. The other person's thinking, wait a minute, I could have got more. That makes them the most fair trades, I think. Do you know what I mean?
When both people walk away happy. Think about it. If I trade you, I need a running back. You got extra running backs. I got extra wide receivers. We make a simple 1-for-1 trade. We're both happy. Now, that's the simplest form of a trade, right? But if my team got better and your team got better and James is in first, James isn't happy about it.
But if they got better in your eyes, but who cares about James? That's my whole point.
That's
I don't make a trade for James.
I'm playing the guy on the outside.
That person shouldn't get involved. James should not.
But they always do. I get
Thank
messages
you.
left, right, and center being the committee. It's so crazy. It's like and this is what people don't understand. It's like, you're right. It's two trades between two people who've already accepted. They agreed. They like the trade for whatever reason. No one should step in there and say no. And Phil and I have been in leagues. It stopped happening so far, but we're in a league. Frank's in that same league, and he can attest to this. We've had probably 6 trades vetoed between Phil and I, where I had to retweak the trade or I had to something because they claimed that the trade we made, the commissioner or the owner of the league said that it doesn't make it fair because
this particular league has a commissioner nomination where a commissioner is nominated at the beginning of the year. It's set in the rules. We haven't been able to phase it out yet. There's a commissioner, and if enough people complain about it, the commissioner can make a ruling to veto a trade.
Yeah,
and only people's trades that get vetoed are mine and James's.
No, I don't think that should happen. I mean, look, at the end of the day, bottom line is this, there is no rule book that says this position equals this level of trade, whether it's an RB1 or whatever. It's all perception. It's all perceived value and what you're willing to give up at that point in time in order to make your team better or your future better. Maybe you're saying, I'm packing it in and I know I can't keep these people, so I'm going to trade them because I want to gain some picks or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, if it's simply because you think it's not fair for you as an outside party, I think that's bullshit. I think you should not be able to do that.
But that's the only way a trade should be vetoed in my eyes if you can fully prove that there was collusion. Or
So
Or-
that's another
You
thing.
can't.
What's collusion? What
Well,
is
like they-
exactly
like they-
collusion?
Okay, everyone can prove collusion. We can all come up with extreme examples
That's
that are
what I'm
very
trying to say.
easy to tell that there's collusion. But the fact of the matter is there's never a situation where you're like, could it be collusion? It either is or it isn't. You know right away if it is. Right?
Yep.
If the team's in dead last, okay, and they're selling their best player for virtually nothing, and then the next year they quit, blatantly
Yeah.
collusion.
Or if it's a redraft and
Right.
they just sell it to their buddy so
Exactly.
he can get everyone in that. You can tell some of the
Redra-
blatant ones.
I've
right?
been in redraft leagues, yeah, where friends have called. I was in a redraft league where the buy-in was $250,
Wow.
10 teams, winner takes all.
Sure.
And guys
Call up the
about
guy,
to get
I'll give
eliminated
you
or
my
calling
guy.
up their
Yeah.
friends, say, "Hey, give me my money back, and I'll trade you this guy."
Yeah, I could see that.
Mm.
I could see that. So,
It happens.
but that's
It
one.
happens.
That's the only time I would see a trade being denied. Or if you've got a really rookie person who's never played fantasy before,
Doesn't know
football at all, and gets bamboozled by a trade person that
James.
It could
sorry.
be James. Yeah, something I would do.
But it has to be blatantly bamboozled.
and
too.
goes in there and basically gets Lamar Jackson, Devontae Adams, and Christian McCaffrey
David Johnson.
for
Emmett Smith.
for anyone on the Lions. Like, you know what I mean? Something like that. And
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Who's the matter this?
Frank's still awake.
DeAndre Swift is on the line.
Just making sure Frank's still awake. That's all. But yeah,
Yeah.
those are the only reasons. Other than that, I mean, you should never be
I agree.
doing it. Just
Nah,
drives
it shouldn't happen.
crazy.
Yeah, listen, I like the ban. Like, I mean, I'm in Phil's camp too. Like, I like the banter. I like,
Yeah,
the kind of
some
going back and
banter's
forth.
fine.
But once you start getting insulting, like, and you like personally start insulting people, like idiot, this, that, whatever, then it's kind of
and I've seen that too.
You've gone too
I've had
far,
that with Frank,
right?
where we've had that happen in other ones where it's like, they completely call him out for saying you're an idiot, how that you don't know what you're doing, and it's just like, why? Like, you don't need to take it that far. Like, it's just fantasy.
Yeah,
at
it's
the
not
end of
worth
the day.
it.
So
Yeah.
that's not my only rant though today. I have one other one,
Uh-oh.
and it's also still with fantasy football. And Frank and I have been dealing with this. Phil,
Is it
and
about
I-
the 49ers?
It's not about the 49ers. This is about
I'm outta
credibility
here.
and you not setting your lineups and getting stuff
Oh,
done.
yeah.
Like, it just like a.
This should not even have to
Really
be a
shouldn't.
topic.
Oh, but it is. I mean, how many leagues are we in, guys? That you guys have had messaged me, or I've had messages.
Every
3 now, 4?
every league except for one. I'm in 7 this year. 6 out of my 7 has had multiple occurrences of people missing bye week players,
Yeah.
COVID players, IR fucking players. They're out for a minimum of 3 weeks. You bum. How do you not realize that?
and you have an
It's-
IR
it's-
spot. You can
there's
move to the
no
IR.
excuse.
A lot of the guys I think
There's
are
no
just like
excuse.
I feel
Boggles
like
my
it's
mind.
mostly the teams that are in the bottom and they've given up. But at the same point, if you've given
Yeah,
up,
for
just
sure.
at least put your lineup in. Like, I get you're trying to lose, I get you're trying to tank, but like, come on, just play a lineup that you can actually start. And it's not that hard. You have your
Yeah.
bench guys. I understand the scenarios that we've had where like, okay, this guy got hurt on Sunday, and some leagues you can't pick up players the same day. That's a whole nother ball game and a whole nother reason that I
Yes,
don't like.
that
But
happens.
other than that, like, if you have
Yeah.
an opportunity to pick up players freely on the Sunday and you get news, nobody's sitting out. Like, you have enough time. Even if the guy gets called out on game day before the game, you have enough time to go pick someone up and put him in your lineup no matter what. Like, there's never a time where it's 1:00 and this guy
Yeah.
just got called out of the game.
Yeah.
And of course, we got that one buddy who we're in a double quarterback league, and he has 3 quarterbacks. One was on a bye, one was benched because of COVID, and the other
Yeah.
one's still a rookie who isn't playing yet. And they have daily waivers
So
with
he
no
has
quarterbacks
problem.
left.
Yeah.
So the poor guy plays Trey Lance and gets a
No.
0. You can't be upset about that.
No.
No.
But when you see a guy
Made a waiver claim.
who
Yeah.
makes 2 waiver claims for backup quarterbacks. Both backup quarterbacks play this week, and
Yeah.
he leaves a blank.
Mm.
And he's
Yeah,
in
that's
4th
bad.
place, not even in last.
Well, I won this week by 0.2 because a guy didn't start a player. He would have beat me easily, and And that changed
another one in
the
that
full
league.
standings of things too, because I stayed in first.
I could be in first place because
that
of that.
cost you first right now.
So-
Cost some guy a playoff spot. Like there's a whole bunch of different things in there.
So should there be a rule, like a fair play rule or something, where, you know, maybe the commissioner has the ability to kind of put in the next up,
But who
like,
who do
and
you
just fill
who
that
do you
spot?
pick at that point? Because what happens if
Whoever was projected, not actual, whoever was projected to be the next pick.
Not
So
even.
if somebody's got like 12 points versus somebody else that has 10 points, regardless of the guy at 10 points has 23, like prior to
But you-
snap, what was the
but that
projection?
shouldn't
And
be
then
the
you can't
commission
do
that
the
either.
likely
Yeah,
start.
but you can't do that either because
Yeah.
then essentially you have a best ball team.
No,
you don't
but
ever
I'm
have
just
to
saying
set
it
your
would
lineup,
avoid-
and whoever's on your bench,
No,
you get to play.
I understand. Or as a default, these app developers should actually develop something that does that, where you have to, like, if you don't set your lineup, it will automatically
you can't-
set next
no,
up, like something like
you're-
this. Where
I think
you
a
paid
punishment
to
number
needs
be
to
in
be
the league.
established.
You paid to be a
punishment
GM.
needs
You
to be
paid to do
established.
this. It's your job
So
to
what's the
set the
punishment?
freaking lineup.
Whatever the league sets up.
what's the
Well, there's
punishment?
whatever
there's
the
gonna
league
be a
sets up
thinking
ahead
rule.
of
The
time.
punishment right
Like,
now
okay,
is a
for
loss.
example, it depends on your league.
I've
Is
seen
it,
guys
is it,
get
is it
kicked out of leagues, and I've taken over teams from guys that have
Yeah.
done that. So
is it a redraft league? Is it a keeper league?
Yeah.
Is it a dynasty league? If it's a dynasty league, you have to come up with some sort of
Yep.
punishment. Maybe you lose a pick. If it's a keeper league, maybe you lose a pick, or maybe you
keeper.
lose your
fine.
lottery tickets.
What about a fine?
So this way, if you try to tank, you're going to get the fourth pick instead of the first, guaranteed, because you tanked intentionally. Maybe you're knocked out of the lottery. If it's a redraft, maybe you're just removed.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm having this issue right now in one of my leagues, where it's been a few seasons now that the gentleman hasn't been. He usually shows up for the draft and then he doesn't do much else and sits there, doesn't make many trades, doesn't do many pickups, and every year I have to have at least one talk to him where it's like, okay, I need you to set your lineup because you forgot or whatnot. So, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, the guys are coming to me saying, dude, he doesn't trade, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. What are you going to do? And I'm getting close to the point where I'm probably going to have to replace him. He's a nice guy. He's a friend of mine. And, but it's a league.
I
Yeah,
find-
I like
I
the
find
guy
that
a lot.
happens-
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, he's a good friend of mine too. And I'm glad he's been a part of the league for as long as he has. But when you show so much disinterest, then let us do you the favor and say, hey man, it's been fun. Go do what
Yeah,
you want to
exactly.
do.
Go
We're
do
gonna
what you
fill
gotta
your
do.
spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that happens.
It's
though,
nice when it's competitive.
I find that happens when like you're trying to fill a league out, and guys, you're just kind of nagging guys like, "Hey guys, come on, we need to fill this league. Can you join? Can you join?"
No, he
Agreed.
wanted
I've
to
seen
be
that
in the
happen a
league.
few
He's
times.
always wanted to be. He's just
Yeah.
not a very good
Well-
fantasy person, and he's a football guy. He likes football. Just his problem is priorities. He's a party guy. He likes to do shit. He just got married. He's one of the things, and it's and he likes a lot of other things. So it's one of those things where
I don't know. I spend a half an hour on the throne every day at least, so that's where I do most of my.
so
I do most of my.
But
business.
I guess like liking football and liking fantasy is two different things, because I'll tell you,
Yeah.
ever since I started playing fantasy, I kind of hate football in a way sometimes, right? Like, it's like, son of a bitch, you can't
try
cheer for
having
your-
18
like, so
teams,
being a fan,
and you got every single
Right.
player in
Yeah,
the league,
no,
and you
I
don't know
know.
who to cheer for anymore.
No, I know. I
You
mean,
have to
it's-
come up with a list of priorities, I found, because I've been playing fantasy a long time and I totally understand where you're coming from, Sam. To me, like my wife asks me all the time, you have so many fantasy teams. You have almost every player in football on one of those teams. You're playing one friend in one league and a different friend in a different league. And who the hell do you know who to cheer for? San Fran's playing, so you want to watch this game, but then you got players in this game.
Yeah, it's so true.
You need a ranking
Cowboys
system.
above all.
San Fran
Yep.
above all.
Cowboys above all.
I don't care. I don't care.
Again,
What
with the San
happens?
Fran.
The San Fran first. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then my money. So if I'm gambling on the games, to me, my pro line ticket
Yeah.
or my bets on my websites or whatever, because I do enjoy betting on football, they come first because it's my money.
Degenerate gambler.
And then fantasy. Except with the exception of a couple of fantasy leags like our La
ours.
Familia League or even our JFL league. Yeah, those leagues are very competitive with a lot of our close friends.
Yep.
There's a pride aspect to those.
Yes.
So those
Yeah.
kind of trump or are very close to my money.
Yeah.
Not quite,
But
close,
it's kind of
yeah.
weird because you see yourself kind of like just sitting there cheering for like the kicker of the Cincinnati Bengals. It's like, come on, damn it!
Yeah, but
Like, you know what
Sam,
I
you
mean?
cheer
Like,
for
it's
every
like-
kicker possible.
That is true as well.
Anyways, this was a great talk about fantasy football, gentlemen. I'm glad I got this off my chest. Hopefully this helps some other people who are listening.
You feel better,
I
James?
feel a little
You
bit
feel
better,
better now,
actually.
James?
Hopefully the person,
Okay, good.
hopefully
Well,
these
that's-
people I'm talking about listen to this and they
I
catch
doubt
a
it.
clue.
You thought you heard it
But-
before. You thought you heard it before. You're
I
going to
might
hear
just
it now.
send it
for
to
sure.
these people directly.
this
Say, hey,
out.
listen to this episode this week. It's a really good one, just to see what happens.
Oh yeah.
But nonetheless, let's get to our picks. Phil, can we get a score total? Who won last week? Do we know?
Absolutely. The 49ers won last.
Yeah.
Wait, I mean, I did.
So did the
I
Cowboys
I
and
did.
the Lions.
And the
didn't
only
lose.
loser was the Broncos.
The Lions didn't lose.
So I won. I won this week with
Damn it.
8.
Nice.
We had a tie with Nick and Sam with 7, and then rounding down the bottom is Frank and James with 6.
That's not bad.
Six
I
is
thought I
good.
would have lost.
Still
one.
not great
Okay.
overall.
So better than last week for the most part.
I like
All
6.
right, let's see if
For
we can
everybody.
up this week. All right, gentlemen, let's get into it. Our Thursday nighter, we got the 6-4 Patriots at the 4-5 Falcons. Sam's already talked about how bad the Falcons are, so is everyone else. So I believe most of us will be on the Patriot bandwagon. Is anyone taking the Falcons? Anyone? Put your hand up.
Nope.
Nope.
Didn't think
Never.
so.
Nope.
That was an easy one for you, Phil. We'll get into the 1:00 games. We got the 5-4 Saints at the 4-6 Eagles. Both these teams have looked okay, not good, very bad, bad, good. It's been up and down. Phil, why don't you start? Where are you going?
I'm taking the Saints.
Okay. Any
They're
reason,
playing
or you just
in
want to say
Where are they
taking the
playing?
Saints? They're in Philadelphia.
I could give a reason, but then you guys might take the Saints
Perfect.
too.
So don't give it yet. Nick, who are you
Okay.
going with?
It's in Philly.
It's in Philly.
I'm going to take the Saints as well.
Sammy?
I don't know. I'm kind of feeling Philly in Philly this week for some reason.
Okay.
I'm going to go Philly.
Frankie?
I'm gonna take a different approach this week.
Take the refs?
I'm gonna go for a Philly cheesesteak over the po' boy in New Orleans.
I know. This is one of those weird ones that
You just gonna
Of
go
course.
against Philadelphia
Always.
because they're in your division?
that's what I normally do every single time. Always. That's how
Shush
we go
you.
here.
What
I
are
know
you
that's what
lying?
Nick did.
Look at my strategies.
I am gonna go Philadelphia as sorry. I'm gonna go New Orleans. I thought they had a good game this week. I like the way they did. They did better than I thought they would because I thought New Orleans was gonna trounce them, and they surprised me. So I think they'll build on that and keep going. But Phil, why are you taking New Orleans? I want to go back to you.
Actually, very similar reasons. I thought New Orleans looked really good against the AFC reigning champions right now in Tennessee. And Philadelphia sucks at home.
They're
way
0-4
better
at
on
home.
the road.
Just saying.
They're going to break it.
Good
Yeah,
news,
I think
guys.
a lot
Good
to get out of
news.
this. I'm going-
Okay, this should be a slobber knocker
1-4.
of a game we got here. We got
Where
the
we going?
3-7 Dolphins
deal.
at the 2-7 Jets. Is Mike White starting? Is Wilson? Do we know yet? Has anyone said anything? Is Salah going to come on and start for them?
Doubt Mike White's going to get the start again. I think the Mike White meme is over.
He got his 15 minutes of fame. It's done.
I think
so. That means Flacco starting.
It's very possible. But I think Zach
and
Wilson
Phil.
should be healthy enough.
and I
to
think
play
Tua's playing.
Okay, I will jump on Tua and the Dolphins taking this one. Sam,
Me too.
you too.
Yep. I like the Dolphins defense against the Jets.
Frank,
So we got what do we got? Miami. We got
This guy's
Cubano
going by
sandwich.
food.
versus a New York pizza.
Cubano was that?
Give me a New York pizza.
we're going with the New York.
New
I
York
like you
pizza.
betting on food now. This is amazing, Frank.
That's actually a good idea, Frank. I like that.
Nick,
Okay.
are you
Turn the ship
taking the
around
New
this
York
way.
pizza
No.
or are you taking the
I'm taking
Cubano
the
sandwich? Where are we going?
Dolphins. I don't like the Jets at all.
Phil?
I love Cuban sandwiches. Definitely Cuban Miami.
There we go. All right, Frank, I want you to put some food to this one. The 3-6 Washington football team at the 5-5 Carolina Panthers.
Carolina barbecue all day.
Oh, there you go. And what comes out of Washington? Just curious.
Fried chicken. I don't know.
All right, we got Carolina for
chicken.
Frank. Sam?
Did you actually pick Carolina?
That's what he went with. Carolina barbecue.
Okay.
Barbecue. You can't go against barbecue. Unless you're in Texas.
We're talking about the
That's,
Washington football team that just upset the Tampa Bay
Yeah.
Buccaneers, by the way. That same Washington
Yeah.
football team.
And Carolina's got our friend Mr. Cam Newton back, and
It's Ron Rivera.
Like he never left.
So we know James is taking Washington then.
yeah, I think I'm gonna go Panthers.
Phil?
Oh, this is tough.
You guys make it seem like as if when
This
I
is
ask you, you
tough.
guys have no it's like it's
It
such a
is.
shock that I went to
It
you.
is.
It's like you guys know you're coming.
It's like what me? Yeah.
Well, sometimes you're not 100% sure which side you want to take, and then you get called on, and you're like, I think I'm also going to go with Carolina in this one.
I'll take the Panthers.
I'm also
Nick?
taking the Panthers. I think Cam Newton's going to have a great day at home.
Sure.
Liar, you just don't want to lose a
I'm
game.
far
to the
enough
rest
ahead.
of
I
us so
can
we
lose a
don't
game,
catch
but
up.
I want
All right.
Cam Newton to do well because I
Here
started
we
it,
go,
okay?
guys. I finally found a fun game. The 5-5 Indianapolis Colts at the 6-3 Buffalo Bills. Nick, start
Give
us
me
off.
Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
Frank?
I'm a wing guy. I'm going Buffalo.
I like this. We're still in the category of food. This is good. Sam?
I'm gonna go Bills too. I want to go Colts, but I just don't believe in them this week. But yeah, Bills.
I like the Colts a lot, but I just don't think they match up well with the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
I'm taking
Yeah, I
Buffalo.
think Buffalo's
Now all
right,
you guys
Buffalo
want to
across the
copy
board.
me, jerks.
Boring.
Yep, that's
only 'cause
exactly
you
why.
went first. Okay, here we go. Here's another game of the week, well, at least for Frank's TV. The 0-8-1 Detroit Lions at the 5-5 Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland
Anyone
Steamers.
other than Frank taking the Lions? Anyone?
Frank, you taking the Lions?
I'm taking the Lions.
Yeah,
I already made
every
my
time.
Just checking.
That's it. So 4-1. He'll be the lone one on this one.
Every
Detroit,
time.
We'll move
style
on.
pizza.
This one's also, we already should know who we're taking here. The 4-5 49ers at the 2-7
Yeah,
Jags. Is anyone taking Jacksonville?
Ooh, what do they eat in San Francisco? I don't know if I want to know.
It's in Jacksonville.
Rice-A-Roni? Or what do they eat
San
in
Francisco
Jacksonville?
treat, buddy. San Francisco
San
treat.
Francisco tacos.
Rice
Sausages.
Roni.
We're all going Sam.
What's Jacksonville? What's
Florida.
Jacksonville?
Florida.
Alligators.
So they,
Not
Florida.
much. A lot of craziness.
Yeah, with San Francisco.
yeah, we're all going
culture,
San
more
Fran.
food,
Okay.
better food.
Oh,
Okay.
another
San Fran.
shitty one. You could just put the Titans in on this one. The 1-8 Texans at the 8-2 Titans. Anyone taking the Texans? Anyone?
I'm going food, so I got to go Texas barbecue, baby.
Over
Really?
the Titans?
Tennessee.
Tennessee's got barbecue.
You know what?
Good barbecue there.
Nashville hot chicken. I already got my. I
Nashville
got my
Hot
barbecue.
wings, buddy.
I got my barbecued Carolina. Let's go Nashville hot wings. Yep.
Okay, there you go.
That justifies the pick. Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
This game could be interesting. The 8-2 Green Bay Packers at the 4-5 Minnesota Vikings.
How could it be interesting? I'm just
Minnesota's not that bad. They can hang in there. They're at home.
Oh, that's very nice of you, James.
asking. Soda's not that
anyone
bad. All right.
taking
You
Minnesota?
sold me.
Anyone?
Minnesota's not that bad.
Well, I mean, if
Oh,
we go
dear.
on my whole food path here, Green Bay cheese. I
wouldn't
can't
have
take
taken Green
even though
Bay
Minnesota's
even if they
food
had
is
that
lutefisk,
food.
which is
You were not. Yeah, even if they
Minnesota.
won.
I'll just say Minnesota is known for lutefisk, which is fish soaked in arsenic.
Oh,
So
my goodness.
I'm going to take
Okay.
Minnesota despite that.
So you want to
Wait.
poison yourself with fish?
He'd rather
Yeah.
poison
That is
himself.
how
with
much
fish
he
than take
hates
Green
the
Bay
Packers.
That's how
This is
committed
hilarious.
he is to this.
Wow.
That's right.
Frank, I'm
Okay.
taking Minnesota too.
Minnesota. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Hey,
Attaboy.
I was gonna do that.
Damn it! I was hoping everyone would
I'm
be on
taking
Green
Green
Bay.
Bay.
I'm not taking the pack.
Did you not hear my scenario of me saying why Minnesota? They're not so bad. It was enough to get you all to go Green Bay. What the
Yeah.
heck?
All right, so you taking Mini
yeah.
too? So we got Nick and Sam on Green Bay, right?
Yep.
I like it. Splitsies.
I think so.
Easy win, Nick. Easy win.
All right. The Sam's alternate ego, the Baltimore Ravens.
think it really
or alternate
is.
team, sorry. At the Chicago Bears. Ravens 6-3, Bears
I think he
3-6.
may be more of a Ravens fan
Anyone-
than a Broncos
The
fan.
Ravens, baby.
Anybody want a bear? Anyone?
I
taking a
think
bear?
you are,
Anyone?
man.
I think
the
you might be
amount
right.
that
I'm
you
getting
defend the Ravens is quite up there.
Well, that's because he
It's
can't
correct,
defend
but
the
that's why.
Broncos like that.
No one's taking the Bears.
Anyone taking the
Nobody.
the Bears? Anyone?
I
Anyone?
have to go deep dish pizza.
He's going all
I went with the
underdogs.
Bears.
Here we go.
Oh, you're still going with the food, Frank. I like it. I like you're committed to
Proud.
this. I really do. I'm also curious
Maryland's
what
got
you're
bite.
going to find.
Like,
He's gonna win this
He might.
week just based on his food choices.
I'm
That's what I'm trying for here.
really curious, Frank, who you're going to go with food choices you're going to for this one. So we got the 5-4 Cincinnati Bengals at the 5-4 Las Vegas Raiders. Can you give me food from
Oh,
Cincinnati and Las Vegas?
Cincinnati 5-way chili. Oh,
Oh,
hell yeah.
I like it.
You got the chili,
Frank,
you
you're
got
really
the
knowledgeable
spaghetti,
about this stuff.
Spaghetti, chili, cheese, and then you can do 4 ways,
Wow.
5 ways, 6 ways. Oh, yeah,
He was ready to
fancy,
go
baby.
on that question, James. I think that backfired on you.
Jesus. Maybe we're on the.
I
I think you're on the wrong
Sheesh.
podcast, Frank.
Yeah.
Do like a food
Foods
podcast.
of the
You guys wanna do
world.
food podcast?
I'm jumping on the chili bandwagon. I'm going with it.
I am also going with the Bengals. I do not like
Yeah,
the Raiders at all.
Nice.
Sammy lone wolfing it, taking the Raiders.
I can't. It's a freaking tire fire. Are you crazy? Like it's a disaster in Vegas.
I thought you liked
No,
disasters.
Definitely the Bengals. I do. I
5
do.
chili
But-
specials.
Yeah, it's got to be the Bengals.
The 8-2 Arizona Cardinals, with hopefully the return of Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins, at the 6-3
3-6,
Seattle
3-6.
Seahawks, who we know put up a 3-6 Seattle Seahawks, who put up a dud on the weekend. Gentlemen, Nick,
Kyler should
which way you
definitely
going?
be back
I
this
went
week.
the Cardinals this week, and they blew up real bad. But I'm taking the Cardinals again. Yeah.
Glutton
Love
for
the way
punishment.
that came out. So Cardinals, I will go opposite and take the
Sweet.
Seahawks.
That's what you did this week too. Backfired as well.
I think that
Last
Russ
time
is
you
gonna
picked Russ, you got
hopefully
0
play well.
points,
I don't
just
know. That's
One of you guys is going to reverse your fortunes, though, right? Because I mean, you guys both picked the opposite, and so like,
one of us will be right, one of us will be
Both
wrong
lost.
unless they tie.
that's right.
Yeah.
Ooh, which also can happen.
And then you both be wrong.
Najee Harris knows this now.
Sam, which way you going?
I'm actually going to go with the Cardinals. Again.
Okay, Phil.
When you have to say that they're the
Frank?
shithawks, I don't think that's a good thing to pick. I'm just saying.
This is a game that Phil hates. He wants them both to lose, but they can't both lose.
Yeah,
so
I
he's
hope they
just-
tie. They can both have 1 point.
Frank.
Give me the Southwest Santa Fe Chicken, Arizona.
There you go. Are you Googling
No,
this?
this is all in his
Oh,
head.
there you go. How dare you?
Oh, all right. Interesting.
Oh, I already know who Frank's taking on this one because I know that in Texas the food's way better. So the Dallas Cowboys 7-2
Oh, God.
at the 6-4 Kansas City Chiefs. Phil just put Nick and I down for the Cowboys.
Of
Frank,
course.
obviously, Frank, you're taking Texas barbecue, right?
No,
Good barbecue
Kansas
in,
City,
KC,
Kansas City
buddy.
ribs, buddy.
No,
Same style
Kansas
ribs.
City,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Good barbecue.
everything's
Sweet,
bigger in
some
Texas.
barbecue.
Yeah, except certain things. But anyway,
I don't know what you're looking at in Texas, but that's a little scary. I don't
What the
wanna know.
heck is this guy talking
talking about the ribs. What are you talking
I don't know what you were
The
talking
Kansas
man.
City
Whoa.
ribs are much bigger
On
than the
who?
Texas ribs. That's what I was.
Oh, but
Well,
okay,
because
next
Kansas
game.
City
Yeah,
anyway,
just keep
like,
going,
whatever.
please.
Forget
Next
it.
game.
Okay,
We haven't even picked
well-
them all yet.
I didn't even pick.
Sam, who you got?
Cowboys.
Oh, you know, I absolutely not. It's the Kansas City Chiefs.
Phil, break the
Oh,
tie.
so I'm the tiebreaker, eh? I hate
You
both
hate a
these
lot of
teams so
teams.
much.
Well, you only hate the Cowboys because Nick and I
True.
like the Cowboys and we talk about them all by the time. But that
Right.
No,
That's
I
prob-
hate the
that is one of the
Cowboys
main
because I'm a
reasons that I hate the
49ers
Cowboys
fan.
as well.
so if
That's
I
the
like the
main reason
different
most
teams,
people
Sam, would
hate
you like the Cowboys?
Dallas.
Is that how this would work?
I'd like them. I'd
yeah, okay.
hate
Got
them
it.
less.
Just checking. Sorry, Phil. Who you taking?
Yeah.
I am going to take the Dallas Cowboys.
There you go.
Oh
Jump
my
on the
God,
bandwagon.
Phil. How can you do such a that's dastardly?
Easy win, Frank. Easy
Oh,
win.
Yep, we got this.
I know. My
The
49er heart is yelling at me.
the Sunday nighter, we got the 5-3-1 Steelers coming off their big tie with the Lions
Big
at
tie.
the
tie.
5-4 Chargers, who I don't know what team the Chargers are this year. So, Sammy, lead us off. Which way you going?
I knew you were going to pick me, and I have no idea. So I'm going to go with the Steelers, just because.
Got it. Frank? Which food group
I
are you
like-
going this time?
I like the Parmenti brothers in Pittsburgh. They make some nice sandwiches. They put the French fries in there.
That's
with
the
the
French fry. Yeah, I've
garlic
heard of
on it.
those. I never had one, but I heard they're good.
I've been there. It's very good. But I'm gonna go to the West Coast. I'm gonna take a fat burger.
Oh,
I'm going back to Cali. You know that song?
Oh my goodness!
It doesn't sound
Okay.
like that when I heard the last one.
I don't sound like Biggie. Oh shit! Okay, well,
Who's Biggie? No, it wasn't even Biggie.
yes, it was. Going back to Cali.
Going back to Cali?
Biggie's
Check out for the
cool.
weather.
OD.
Women and the weeds. Sticky green. Come on,
Oh, I thought.
that's Biggie Smalls.
Sam thought
And
you
where'd
were-
Chit Your Jaws?
Sam thought you were talking a whole different
Hold on.
song.
Different song. Yeah. Going back to Cali. To Cali.
If
No,
you want to
anyway,
squirt it, you got to
wrong
take it a
song.
fat burger.
Oh my
Forgot to choose a course. I
Sam's
got to
thinking of
choose
the
the East.
Tupac California song there. The other one.
California love.
No, see,
No,
That's-
I'm
that's
thinking
the-
of LL Cool J.
California knows how to
Knows how to
I was-
party.
Not that one.
I was actually
Guys,
thinking
we
way
can't
before that.
sing,
It was
so let's
actually
not
LL,
continue
LL
this.
Cool J.
This is bad.
Did you guys
It's
heard
okay,
going
no
back
one's
to
listening
Cali?
for our singing abilities.
That's good.
It's not singing, it's rapping.
That's rapping? That's even worse. Sorry, Sam, what'd you ask?
No, I was thinking it was actually the song I thought he was thinking of was Going Back to Cali, the actual song from LL Cool J. I'm going back to Cali.
Oh,
Cali.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't think
No.
anyone immediately thought of LL Cool
None
J.
of us, except for Sam.
Yeah,
but that's okay. So where are we on, Phil? Who
Different
did you pick
generation,
some
boys.
stuff?
Anyway.
Frank's got the Chargers of LA, and Sam took Pittsburgh. So it's your pick, James.
I am taking the Chargers of San Diego.
San Diego, Wales vagina.
Is LT playing for them?
Yes, I hope so.
All right, I'll go next. I am also going
Nick?
to take the Chargers. I heard rumors that Mason Rudolph is right now practicing with the first strings, and I'm scared to play anything that Mason Rudolph is doing. So, give me the Chargers. Yeah,
I heard that
Oh,
too. That
jeez.
they're warming up and practicing as
Yeah.
if Rudolph's going to start, and I'm just like,
Big
that's
Ben
not
needs-
good.
He's gonna be great.
Ben
Ben's not
needs
going to be
to
back in
first-
time, eh?
test negative within 24 hours of each other or something. They're saying he may not make it back.
Well, COVID's much more
This is
serious
true.
if you're a senior
Just like Ben.
citizen.
So Phil, who are you picking?
Well, I mean, if Ben was playing, I like Pittsburgh, but I'd take Alabama to beat Mason Rudolph.
I
They
take
could
Michigan.
take a little college.
So
team
you're
to
taking
beat
the
him.
Chargers, is what you're saying?
I had Detroit to beat them,
They
but they
tied.
screwed that up.
Yeah, I got to take the Chargers and be safe. It's unfortunate we record so far in advance that we're not going to know, but I
Yeah.
can't gamble. It's just too much of a swing.
Okay, so now that it's settled, it's locked. Just so you guys know, Joey Bosa and Tillery are on COVID reserve right now, boys. So they're not
Are
even.
you withholding
playing.
information? Holy.
Well,
Good
maybe
job,
a
you
little bit.
sneaky,
But anyway,
sneaky.
I did see that, but
Anyway,
there's
go
also
ahead.
Pittsburgh
Moving
guys
along.
on COVID as well.
Again, I could sack Mason Rudolph.
I'm
Well,
I'm,
I
I'm
mean-
not. If Mason Rudolph is starting, they can have their
We'd be
third
okay.
stringers out there, and I'm still not worried.
okay, I'm just
Freaking
saying.
Santa's
Did you
gonna
see
shoot
Mason
Rudolph. He's
Rudolph
not
throwing the
playing
ball
this
this
year.
weekend?
Joey
Did you see
Bosa,
it?
Tillery. Listen,
No,
it doesn't
he didn't
matter.
throw
Now
it.
they could run right up the
Sam,
gut.
Sam.
now. Tillery's not there. Bosa's not
Sam,
there.
you could throw better than
Anyway.
Mason Rudolph can right now. That's,
Yeah, that's what I
Najee
said.
Harris is going to run all over.
no, he's
these
still
guys.
trying to figure out the overtime
Yeah, that's
rules.
what I
He's confused.
Okay. Now he knows he could win, so he's going to keep playing.
All right,
The Monday Nighter,
and the
guys.
fun Monday
All right.
nighter. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
no.
even know if to ask this one, but the 3-6 Giants at the 6-3 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Anyone taking the Giants? Anyone? Anyone?
I'm going to double down on some pizza. I'm going Giants.
John.
Yeah,
I'm actually going to go
Yeah,
Giants.
have
too.
fun, you
Damn it.
guys.
two Giants.
Okay,
Two Giants.
I'll take that.
I'm going Tampa Bay. Nikki, Tampa. Phil,
Tampa, definitely Tampa.
perfect. Those are our picks. That is our show. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me today. Listeners, thank you for listening and hanging in there during our banter. Hopefully, we didn't bore you too much. And we will be back next week with
Riveting.
a bunch of new topics and some more picks for you guys. Have yourselves a good night.
Yeah, no shit. This guy's been thinking of everything.
The munchies
I'm
too.
hungry
I'm
too,
talking
Frank.
about all these top-notch dishes. Got to bring some food to the recording next week.
Exactly.
Is there?